What's up, guys? Welcome. I think my brain needs to wake up here a little bit. What's going on? Welcome to this Bitcoin live stream, and I'm not even on the Bitcoin chart yet, so that's how much I failed. I do have a cool Bitcoin chart we'll talk about today, though. DS1. We'll talk about this historical Bitcoin chart. We did it back in 2019 as well. You can see down here at the bottom, before the breakout, even when price was at 6K, before the breakdown, we had talked about this being an accumulation zone, and then anything below 3,900 being an instant reversal zone, and that played out to perfection. So if we get something similar, could look something like this. We'll talk about that here in a minute. But first, we got to shout out BingX, our sponsor. You guys, actually, like, the volume's been really good on BingX lately. A lot more people are trading on it. They got a mobile app, no KYC, sign up with email. I think there's a lifetime withdrawal limit if you don't KYC, but you can just change your email. You can just get a new account when you get close. So I didn't tell you that. But anyway, BingX is really cool. I do actually use it. I'm not going to recommend something to you guys that I don't think is a good product. So if you want to check that out, there's a link below. I appreciate your support. Anyway, let's get into Bitcoin. And actually, I kind of want to talk about Luna first because that's kind of fun to look at. This is not Luna. This is Dollar Tree, which maybe we could talk about my open positions here in a minute. I don't have too many right now. But anyway, okay, so let's look at Luna. It's half a cent, you guys. Okay. I mean, first off, I've been talking about this weekly. Obviously, there's no way to predict this kind of a dump, right? I didn't predict that. I did not predict that kind of a dump. But I can't even get this shit zoomed out to show you this. Okay, but we did have this really, really nice weekly bearish engulfing candle. Okay, this is a bearish engulfing candle. Bearish engulfing candles go die. All right, usually a bearish engulfing candle at the top, especially. So you could see that ended up being the top. We talked about it being possibility of a top, and then basically you just look for a retest, and we got two of them. So either one of those you could have shorted, made some good money, and yeah. So anyway, let me get back to the bottom here. This is a good example of why you don't knife catch. Now, I did make a video yesterday of how in the future you can catch these like 500% plus. Usually I go for like 1 to 200% on something like this, but this one hadn't bounced in so long that I should give a really good bounce. So I made a video yesterday about how you can catch these bounces. So if you haven't watched that, you should definitely go watch it. It's a really good video. But anyway, let's go all in right here for a 100% bounce. I'm kidding. Please don't do that. There's no indication to buy this. Obviously, there hasn't been. And I have, I basically moved. It used to be up here on top of my watch list, and I was trading it on the way down a little bit. But now it's like gone. Like, you should not use leverage on this. It's literally less than half a penny. Like, you get liquidated in a split second on even like 2x leverage. So stop trading leverage on Luna. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised. There could be like some weird, like, random news thing that pumps it, but I doubt it. I wouldn't be surprised if it just freaking dies, okay? I don't know what's going to happen, but there's absolutely no indication and no reason to trade this, all right? So stay the hell away from Luna, you guys. It's just not worth it. It hasn't been worth it. I mean, literally, like, I know you guys, a lot of you guys follow me pretty well, or like pretty, I don't know, pretty closely. Is that the word? And I've been saying, like, don't buy this shit. Don't buy on the way down. There's some influencers saying that this is like a really good risk to reward the whole way down. And I'm like, holy shit, I'm at 70 cents right now. I thought this was like $10. Jesus Christ, look at this. This is $30 up here, you guys. Somebody said I bought Luna for $50 just to see what it's like to have a nice bunch in my wallet. I hope you sold at least. Because now you don't have anything in your wallet. That's funny. Okay, so the point here is, like, people at, like, I keep thinking this is like $20. Like, literally, like, up here is $20. Jesus Christ, this thing is dead. So people are like, oh, this is the best risk to reward you're ever gonna get on a crypto. Oh man, it's like, dude, your risk to reward right now is 99%. That's not good risk to reward. Like, sweet risk to reward, bro, 0. You know, like, you could buy AAVE right now, and it's probably not going to freaking 0. There's no reason for it to just fucking nuke to 0. Like, your risk to reward on AAV is probably, let me zoom out. I mean, your risk on all these altcoins is honestly 0. But even, well, this isn't that good of a chart for AV, but your risk to reward on AV right now is probably like 50. You know? Like, that's 50% drawdown. That's not 99%. I don't know. Anyway, a lot of these altcoins literally could go down 99%. I've been saying it for a while, and we've been doing it on our alt streams and show our altcoin live streams and talking about how they're going to go down 99%. But anyway, like, Luna is basically dead right now, right? Like, it's just an endless cliff. Like, there's no risk to reward on an asset like this because it's FUD driven and news driven, and there's no reason for investors to buy. So, point is, don't buy that shit. Okay? Capiche? All right. So, let's talk about, I don't know, do you guys want to look at my trades? You guys want me to tell you how stupid I am? I'm just kidding. I'm not stupid, but the reason I don't ever freaking go heavy into shit, which of course I kind of did, so I started reducing my exposure on shorts, and I've been just kind of like adding on the bounces and shit. And my account's still doing pretty well, but if you look here, let's see, where is it? So I got out of BMY at a small loss because I was half size, and then the shit wasn't dying, and it literally took like days, so I was kind of out of that. And then CI was another one that I was getting into, and I took another like couple $1,000 loss, I think, on that, but nothing big. And of course, it died after. So I was just kind of reducing my exposure on some positions that weren't doing well, since I have so many shorts that are doing well. And then like I've got HD, which I've only taken like 10% profit on my position from 317, and MCO, which I've taken, I think, like 20% of my position or something like that, maybe a little bit more. And I've taken some profits on it. I've taken like 50% of my Macy's profit and shit. And then I moved some of those profits back into Dollar Tree above 160. And it's a great setup. You know, this looks great for a drop. We've got a breakdown retest. And if I go all the way down here, it attaches. And these are just kind of weird fake out gaps. But anyway, of course, so I don't usually go big into position. Usually I would this is my larger position right now, and it's about break even. But if I would have just stayed in BMY and CI and Dollar Tree, then I'd be like break even here and then in profit on the other two. So that's usually, I'm better at diversifying a little bit. This time I was like, this is a great setup. The market's been paying really well. I'm going to kind of take a chance here. It's a really good risk to reward to get in up here because I basically have to close if it goes up much at all. Of course, they add that, and it's rejecting right now, so I'm going to keep an eye on it. But anyway, point is, usually it's best to diversify. It's never really good to go big into one asset. So I'm keeping a close eye on this. Obviously, I can cut it if I need to. Of course, I was up really nicely on this drop. I could have shaved some profit maybe. You know, you could always consider what you would do better. But point being, it's better to usually diversify. I'm usually good at that. This is actually literally the first time I haven't done that. Like QCOM was another one I've been in and out of, and it's starting to drop nice. But there's ones like MCO, which I was really big in at like high, and then I closed early. And then there was Nike, which I was huge in at 127, and I closed early. And I'm like, all right, maybe this one I should not close early, and I should actually hold and actually like get a good entry. So I'm trying that. We'll see if it works. Of course, the one that I probably go big in and try to hold, I'll probably take the loss on, because that's how it goes in the markets. The market always makes you realize how dumb you are in the end. But anyway, so let's talk about Bitcoin, you guys. Let's see, where are we at? So historically, this level has been what we've been watching, and basically I set a breakdown at 37,600, puts us into a distribution range, which is what we're in right now. And you can see here in 2018, it's kind of hard to see. I don't know. Can you guys see this? Let's see. How do I get this to work? Okay, it's not working. But anyway, so in 2018, we actually broke through and we closed below this, and we went straight to the bottom of the distribution zone at about, we just front ran it barely. And right now the distribution zone is at 22K-ish, the bottom of that. So if we drop to the bottom here around 22K, we could potentially bounce back up to 37K area, which is exactly what we did here. We actually went just over it. So maybe we bounce back up. Maybe we drop down to the bottom of the zone, bounce back up to like 40K area, and then go into our slow distribution, death spiral, boring shit. Okay. I don't know if that's going to happen. Nothing really ever happens like the same, but it kind of does happen the same, but you just never really know. But that's just something to watch for. And then eventually, if we close below this distribution zone, right, then we could go down into this accumulation zone again between like 16K. So this is 16K is where this fib is at, which is what happened last time, 4,000 to 5,000. Actually, we sliced through it and then went sliced back right through up it. So, but then our instant reversal zone, we'd look at like anything below 16K. So if we somehow get below 16K prices this bear market cycle, then those are probably going to be your best bet. Of course, some people have talked about going as low as 4K. I can't tell you if that could happen or not. I don't know if it will. Obviously, if it goes to 4K, that sounds like a freaking sweet buy, but at some point, there's like a big invalidation point where you just wrecked if it goes below a certain level and nobody ever buys back, right? So just always worth monitoring. I think like the lowest I could ever see it going is maybe like 8,700, but I don't even think it would go that low. I would say like 9,200 maybe, but that even seems like a very, 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 very low possibility. So I do think that 22K area makes sense. I do think that this is possible to go back below that zone. Historically, Bitcoin has done this multiple times. So if all the investors are seeing the same thing, then why would it change, right? If that's where people want to load up. So we'll see. We'll obviously take it step by step, but now we've closed below the 37,600 level on a weekly time frame, and that likely sets us up for this distribution range area between 22K to 37K. So worth monitoring that. This is kind of a fun scenario to watch. It's kind of cool to see how those Fibonacci levels have played on Bitcoin historically. So anyway, let's go look at Bitcoin. We can look at other confluence levels and things. Let's go to the monthly chart because that's probably the most important. Actually, why don't we just go to the yearly? Let's see if there's any support on the yearly. And let's go to Bitstamp. Okay. So, this would be really scary if we close the year below 29K, because that would be like actually a topping pattern. Like, no joke, that would be a topping pattern, and like it would be, I don't know how low we could go after that. So that's something to monitor. There's a lot of time left in the year, so into the year you could pump. You just never know, right? But that would be worrisome if we close below there, because this is literally like a small topping candle last year, and I don't like that. That's like something I would short on a lower time frame chart, right? Like that would be a short setup for me if we close below that, and I would like look to hold for probably at least this level here, if not like the base of this candle. And if you go below there, that gets really scary. And I mean, we're not going to talk about that right now because I don't think that's going to happen, but you never know. You always got to be ready. But anyway, so here's our main support on the yearly chart, and you can see my EMA even. And I assume, this EMA is probably just going up like this and like probably following along there. So we've probably just been riding it, and we haven't retested it in a couple years now. So that wouldn't be a logical place. We've got this wick up here, obviously at 20K. So we can just draw the zone. Let's go from the base of this wick here, because this should start to move up a little bit. And actually, let's just go to our EMA. Let's just start there. So this is going to be our zone right now. Okay, this is going to be the zone we would look for on a yearly chart, because there is some support here, and we're actually starting to get below it. But below that, this is our next support level. So you would say that potentially 13K to 20K area makes sense for a logical drop. Will it happen? We don't know, right? But that would be a logical area. So then we go to the monthly. Let's look at our monthly support levels. Maybe. Come on. Okay. Monthly is that level. It makes perfect sense on the monthly chart. You can see here, we really didn't build up much support. We actually have a resistance now up here as well. Of course, we could close above this, and it would be like a mega, like if we closed above there, that would probably be mega bullish, and we'd probably send. All right. But seems unlikely at this point, but we'll keep an eye on that because we want to be open to all possibilities. So, but for me, from an investor standpoint, if I want to buy and hodl, I can't do that unless I got to close above like 37 something on the monthly chart. Okay. Until then, I'm just trading or, waiting for lower levels to reach or whatever, or dollar cost averaging, however you want to do it. Okay. But this makes logical sense because look at this big area here. And if you watch my range trading video that I made a while ago, I mean, this is like the perfect range trade from here to here. Now you get 20K is where you start having support. Okay, that recent all-time high wick. But basically, what support have we built on a monthly time frame from here to here? This lightly, but it's already been tested. So it's very unlikely that it's just going to hold like a it's not going to hold very strong, most likely, okay? So it's already been tested basically 3 times, all right? So it's very unlikely to hold, and we didn't build a strong support here on the way up, so it tested once, and then it's most likely, obviously, as I said, going to break. So once that breaks, or if it breaks, there's a lot of open space here. Like this whole candle, there was no support build on a monthly time frame, so it's very likely that we could just go back to the base of this candle or close to it, okay? And then below there, I mean, again, there's been no support built until about 12K. So I think a lot of people are starting to look at 12K as a real possibility. I know I have some really very smart friends that have actually, one of them just reached out to me today. He goes, holy shit, man, I could seriously see the possibility of 12K Bitcoin. And I said, it's possible. Like we just have to say it's possible. Is it going to happen? I don't know. Do I know the possibility of it happening? No. But do I have to recognize it and acknowledge it as a possibility? Yes, I do. Because I would hate to be stupid, because back in 2018, I got called so many names for saying 3,200. 3267, I remember in my head, that was my bottom. That was the number I had for bottom. I don't have that exact of a number anymore. I don't know where bottom will be. That was back when I really liked to guess, and now I don't like to guess. I like to react to the markets because I've got a lot more experience, and if I guess too many times, I don't know how I guessed that. I don't remember how, but it was a great guess. Let's say I guessed 2,700. And I was just sitting there waiting for 2,700 for my whole life, and it never came, right? So that's why I don't like to guess anymore. I like to react. I understand the markets better now, and I understand how to find bottoms and things like that. So that's what we look at, though. It's very possible. There's a lot of confluence there. We've got this 99 SMA there. So let's go to the weekly chart, and we're actually touching a support right now. So on a weekly time frame, we have a little bit of support here. That's why we're bouncing. That's why there's been hesitation. We did talk about top BingX, you guys, which is only ever given 3 sell signals, okay? And we can get rid of OBV for this conversation because we don't need to use OBV for this. Excuse me. Okay, so top BingX sell signals, okay, sell approaching, which means we usually bounce, okay? So you can see here, bam, we got it at the bottom here, we bounced, bam, got it at the bottom here. Actually, there's more was this at the top? It was at the bottom, and we really didn't bounce on that one. But we did sell off after. And then here, again, at the bottom, and we bounced after. And then that hit our bull trap Fibonacci level, which is actually worse, hitting that level than hitting the 786 fib, which I don't really want to get into. But basically, this bouncing to the 786 fib, or the 1.337 Fibonacci level, that's like a big bull trap sign, and that's usually the top before a big, long, drawn-out trend reversal. So, but you can see here, this has been only given 3 times, and look what's happened every time. From that signal alone, just from where the signal was given, price has gone down 70%. Price went down 70% almost. So now if price goes down 60 to 70% just from where that signal was given, look at that, right? So pretty cool. Yeah, if you don't include the wick, you get about 65% on each of these, right? So historically, buying at about 12K is going to be your historically best spot to buy. So I don't know if that's going to happen, but Top BingX likes it. And then not only that, I showed you guys this in a chart before the breakdown, actually. And I said, look what happens when wrong spot. Look what happens when the weekly breaks below this zone. So this is like parabolic bullish momentum. And now we have a breakdown below this momentum zone, okay? And when you have a breakdown below that momentum zone, you usually get a little counter trend bounce, and then you go down for a death. And we'll color this blue since it's a blue zone. And we'll draw it here where this crosses as well. And we'll draw it here where this crosses as well. And we got a very small bounce here. It was not very much. You see that? We just got a little bounce after that. But if we go back here, you see A little bounce. Wait, right here. Okay, we got a little bounce, sold off. A little bounce, sold off. And now we've got a little bounce and we're selling off. So it's pretty cool how BingX can kind of like show that ahead of time and kind of prepare you for that, prepare me for that. So I thought that was really sweet. We did have some bullish divergence down here. But we've never gotten a buy signal on the weekly. It's only been on the daily. So I'll be interested to see if we go for a full trend reset here, which would get really ugly. But you can see daily is actually getting close to resetting, and I actually like to use Bitcoin USDT for daily. But our last buy signal from BingX was February 19th. February 12th of 2019. Like, look at that. Isn't that awesome? Like, the only buy approaching signal on this whole chart was at like 3,600. Oh God, come on, commenter. Oh, remove. You guys, look at this. Gotta get rid of these stupid people. All right. All right. Somebody, I can't believe I have spam bots over here spamming people for nudity. Jesus. In my comments. Have some dignity, you scammers. Somebody asked for more dad jokes. I don't have any good dad jokes today. I did make an old lady pee herself one time. Though I asked her, it was at a nursing home. I asked her how you stop a skunk from smelling, and I told her you just plug its nose, and then she peed herself. It was kind of funny. It's a terrible joke, awful joke, but she's probably laughing at me, embarrassed for me, and that's probably what happened. So, anyway, that's my fun story for the day. But yeah, so a lot of roads actually, and this is honestly the first time I've really dived in a while to this Bitcoin chart, and a lot of roads are pointing to potential for 12K. So I don't know if it's going to happen, but it's definitely worth being mindful of. We do have a little cluster here of support. Okay, this is the first. Can you guys hear me? Did I stutter? Yes, I did. Wait, there's nudity. This is the best stream ever. Yeah, I usually just show my nipples off through my sleeve here, but I'll save you guys from that today. That's the only nudity you get on these streams. We used to have a kid in high school, and he had like this. One of my friends in high school, he had like 4 really long, and I don't even think it was like 3 really, really long hairs on his nipple. They were like this long. Okay. I don't know what the hell. They were seriously like that long. And he would stand behind our soccer coach. Our soccer coach would be like giving a speech or whatever, or talking to the team. And he would just go behind the soccer coach and he would just pull out his nipple and just sit there and look at us. And it was these friggin' 3 hairs. Like, oh my God, I still laugh about it today. And he would like just stare at us and he would not move. And every time. And it was so funny. Oh, it was so gross though. It was so weird. I hope he shaved those. This guy was hilarious. He would literally, one time we were at a soccer camp and he was like mad that we wanted to go to bed. And so we turned off all the lights. We were sharing rooms, whatever. It was in high school, right? And we were in like the dorms at a college for a soccer camp. And we're literally sharing a room and there's a table in there and we turn off all the lights and we just hear like, I don't have any cards over here. We just hear him going like with cards in his hand. He's like putting the cards down on the table. And then he would shuffle and then and we're like, dude, what? It was like purposely doing it loud, I think. I'm like, what the hell are you doing, bro? And we turn on the lights. He's literally playing a game of solitaire in the dark. Now the cards were like kind of scattered a little bit, but he was like playing solitaire by himself in the dark with a deck of cards. Like, just, this kid was so funny. He was so weird. Anyway, so that's my fun story for the day. Yeah. Sorry, you guys only get to see my nipples on the paid stream. So, you're missing out on that today. But it's only $55 a minute. I'm just kidding. Okay. So, here's the first cluster of support here. And yeah, I mean, it's not much, but it's something. So, I mean, man, you guys, it's just like the one thing people always say is Bitcoin's never gone below a previous all-time high before in its history. And I'm like, okay, like if that's your only argument, what if it does? You know, like, what if it does? I don't know. I don't know if it will, but what if it does, right? It's just, I feel like, I mean, let's look at this. Maybe we usually build stronger support below there. I don't know. Let's see. Excuse me. So, back in, I mean, this is just all cluster here, but we made an all-time high, broke above it. Yeah, retested it. Okay. We did have some consolidation here at all-time high, right? So, pretty big area of interest. We had a little bit of consolidation here below all-time high as well. So, I don't know. I mean, this is a lot more drawn out bear market. This was a really long one. This one's a little bit shorter, but we didn't even make it close to previous all-time high, right? Like, maybe we still need to retest this at 1,000. I don't know. I'm just kidding, hopefully. That would be a yearly time frame shit that we'd have to keep an eye on. But, okay. So, I mean, we didn't even get close. I mean, we retested it here and then took off. But, like, on this all-time high, we didn't even go close to that. So, and actually, the fibs we were using was from here. I don't even remember why. But the fibs I was using from that original scenario I showed you guys, that was from this. And you can see here, this was basically our accumulation zone as noted. This was kind of the instant reversal zone, which you could see was a little, not quite instant, but pretty close. And then the accumulation zone, we just sliced in and out. So it'd be interesting to see how, if we stay in the accumulation zone this time, or if we, and wick below a couple times, or if we just nuke below it, accumulate a little bit below it, and then go back above again. But it did the same thing in the last time as well. But we have a lot of consolidation here. And honestly, if I'm considering, like, this was an all-time high, but this was like kind of an own cycle in itself, you guys, right here. This was like almost its own little cycle. And then we corrected 70%. So if I'm being honest, like anything I've been comparing, I've been ignoring this whole area. And I've just been going here and looking at this as the recent all-time high. Honestly, like I know that the actual all-time high before it was back here, but I look at this as the all-time high before a new cycle because this was 80% drawdown, nice big-ass pump, another 80% drawdown or whatever, and then a big-ass pump. So I look at this as being the actual all-time high, and then that's why I could see us maybe retesting this area because maybe other people are not really registering that as well. So that's kind of how I see that. That's what I see as possible. You know, obviously I could be very wrong. You never know. You never know what's going to go on, but this chart just doesn't look healthy right now. Overall global conditions aren't healthy. Like everything's in a bear market. We could be in, you know, a full on recession. And it could take a year or two to heal. It could take 6 months. You don't know. You know, later on this year, I definitely would consider getting in on some things, especially if everything gets to lower levels. So, even if it's just, you know, a pump, like if we get to 20K Bitcoin, somewhere around there, that 21K level, that's probably a good area to at least get some exposure, as long as we don't nuke through that. And again, even then it's only like a 10% risk for like a real, you know, even if you just play this area here, let's say you get in at 22 something, you're basically doing like, it depends on where you want to put, where you'd consider putting your stop loss. But even if you go like 19K, you're 15% risk for like a, you know, 60% reward or something like that, which is a great risk to reward. So, something like that would be a great entry. You know, maybe we go to 20, do we go to 25K? Oh, let's see. Damn, we did go to 25.3. Wow. See, I didn't know that. I would have, and I actually knew this going into last night that I was going to fall asleep and we were going to dump and find some sort of like low time frame bottom. And so that's really annoying because I would have definitely looked to get in down at these levels. I think we didn't hit as low on Binance though. Not even near as low. We went to 26.7 and on Bitstamp we went to 25.2. So that's why we reacted there, actually, because 25K was actually an important level. Now, of course, we can't see that on a whatever chart that was on. You can see here that we have this wick here, this little consolidation area here. Okay, and that is why we bounced here. If we drag it all the way over, this was a consolidation level. One of the only consolidation levels down there. Come on, baby. Get over there. Jesus. Holy cow. It did not take me this long to scroll the first time, did it? I feel like this is never ending. Oh my god. Oh, wait. Is Luna less than a penny now, you guys? Has it been less than a penny the whole time I've been on stream? I don't even remember. Okay, so there. We finally made it. And now you can see we're bouncing from the zone very nicely, actually. That's a really good bounce. And it looks like stocks are probably bouncing a little bit with it. So anyway, God, Luna is just dead. Oh, it is bouncing a little bit. Crazy. Oh, yeah, there's a nice little deviation. So, you could have gotten in there. But, like, I wouldn't even trade this. But, like a little deviation there. So then you kind of try to enter on this retest and maybe get like a 100% little pump here. What the frick is wrong with a stop loss? Why would I use a 60% stop loss? Holy, even a 6. What is going on? I think don't trade this shit. But this is like, something like you look for. Like, you just hope and pray that it doesn't go like a 10% lower and that there's liquidity for you to even get out. And you go there. But you would use small positions if you're trading Luna right now. Like, there's no reason to go heavy in that shit. So be careful, you guys. Don't do dumb things. It's not worth losing your money. But anyway, that is about all. Oh, we didn't go that low on Binance because USDT went down last night or something. That's right. USDT went to like 80 cents or some shit. Probably during that time. So that's probably why it didn't go as low versus USDT as it did versus USDT. Or USDT as it did versus USD. So anyway, guys. Well, I genuinely hope you enjoyed the stream. I've got to get going now. But that is my Bitcoin analysis for today. Obviously, a lot of roads lead back to below 20K somewhere. Will it happen? We don't know. We got to see how things go. But we need to get back above probably 40K area to have some hope for, big upside and for another bull run. So we'll keep an eye on that. Obviously, I'll keep updates on Twitter. And thank you, everyone, for joining. I appreciate you all joining this stream today. And I will catch you next time. Peace. For joining. I appreciate you all joining this stream today. And I will catch you next time. Peace.